Yo, yo.
Yes,
What up,
sir.
guys?
Good night to everyone out there tuning in right now and who are tuned in. If you're watching this on demand after the show's been recorded, thank you for following us on Facebook. Again,
We
welcome
appreciate
to.
you. We
Yes, we
appreciate
do.
you.
Yes, we do. You are now tuned into the Collective Bargaining Podcast. You already know myself, Atway Campbell, co-host. Actually, it's this way. It's this way. Yeah.
Yeah,
Michael
okay.
Hercules. You already know. Um,
Hey.
how's it been, man? How's your
Yo,
week been?
it's been good. A lot of things have happened, and
Right.
we're gonna have a lot of stuff to talk about today.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Right now, because a
The
lot of
market
things have
is
happened, and
yeah.
it's crazy out here.
Yeah,
It's crazy out here.
it's crazy. It's crazy. I would imagine that, it's been active in the market right now and things are starting to heat up,
Yo,
especially with the
it's
big players involved. Um yeah, it's crazy.
a
So
lot of rumors, a lot of reports, but
big time.
let's get the first big thing out the way.
Get it out the way,
So
man. Go for it.
yes, so the All-Star starters were announced just a while ago,
Right.
right? So for the East, I'm not sure if everybody's been paying attention, but for the East All-Stars, you got DeMar DeRozan, Trey Young, Kevin Durant, Joel Embiid, and Giannis Antetokounmpo. My bad, Giannis. My bad. And for the West All Stars, we got Steph, Ja Morant, King James, the Joker himself, Nikola Jokic, and a first-time starter, Andrew Wiggins. I repeat, Andrew Wiggins.
How exactly?
Let me say it one more time. Andrew Wiggins.
How exactly does that happen? How exactly does that happen?
I think what happened was injuries and that big market. So it was a combination of being in that big market, plus you got Kawhi injured, you got Paul George injured, you got who else is injured from the West? Who else is a forward that's and then he gets a little upvote because playing for Golden State. I mean, he's playing well, but I don't think he's playing that well.
Yeah, I honestly I didn't see that coming. And when I looked at the both lists, right, it's almost like a parody, man. I was like, all the players that deserve an All-Star nod are there, but it's not the list you expect
Expect
for
to
an
see.
All-Star team,
Yeah,
an All-Star
yeah,
team
it's
from
not.
both.
It's not.
It's like you have one or two stars here and there, and then you have some or superstars, I would say, and then you
Yeah,
have
we have
some
the
people
guys.
playing great basketball.
Yeah,
So
I mean, I guess that's what it's about. Oh, I
yeah,
also
yeah,
forgot to announce the top two vote getters were KD and LeBron. Or should I say LeBron and KD because that's the order.
right.
And they will be the captains for both teams.
Except
Also,
KD's not playing.
KD will not be playing in the All-Star game because he's going to be. He's going to be injured during the All-Star game, but he's going to be resting in order to prepare for the playoff run,
Or the run.
for the Nets playoff run.
Yeah, which will
Right
be
after.
ended by Milwaukee, sadly. But that's okay.
Wow.
I'm putting that out there. You could
Milwaukee
we can start making notes
again.
again, and this time with them fully loaded. They're not getting
Come
past
on.
Milwaukee.
Come on.
Trust me. That team
Come
is
on.
not that team is not the same team they had last year. That team is not as consistent. And we gotta, by the way, we will have a special show, of course, where we start actually putting some brackets together. So you're gonna see exactly what we think in advance, and then we're gonna have to live it out. We're gonna have to live it out. So stay tuned for that, definitely. But I don't see Brooklyn being in the finals. Kyrie is. Here's the thing, right? And I know we have a lot of news to discuss, but
Yeah.
Kyrie is only playing away games at the moment, right? At this point, even though we did mention, by the way, the team could pay those fines, which aren't a lot.
That's
Right?
that's still up for debate. Like I think I think they're gonna save it until the playoffs.
Yeah, and I think ultimately you look at James Harden, who has not been James Harden, by the way, and is still
He hasn't been that bad. He hasn't been as
yes.
bad as you think.
That's the thing. In order for this team to go forward, James Harden needs to be James Harden, okay? That we know he can be. And that hasn't happened this season.
True.
Do I think that's going to change? I don't think so. I think it's a number of things. You see, it's almost like a perfect storm for Harden, right? You had the rule changes, you had a new team, new system where he was no longer the center of the focus of the offense. And I
Yeah.
think that's a lot
It's a
for a
lot of
player to
change.
handle. Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think it takes more than a season for a player to make those type of adjustments. He can still be James Harden. I'm not saying he's not a badass on the court, but I just think that he is not going to be enough, given that team's flaws, to take them to a final. And then you look at when the playoffs get intense, right? I think we're still looking for. I think KD is KD. We saw what he could do last year.
You know what he brings to
But
the table.
we know what he can do. I mean, there's no question about that.
You know who I
I
am.
exactly. I'm just wondering under strain what this team can truly do. I still have so many questions about the Nets, and it's a genuine question. I mean, we
Okay.
know what they are on paper. Those
Right.
three players, holy, you know. But ultimately, I still think that there are a lot of questions, more than answers. That is given the season, and then here's the kicker: are players going to completely shut down their social lives going into the playoffs?
The social lives.
Are you
Since
are
wh-
you going
since
to
when since when have they ever stopped with their social
right?
lives?
Exactly, right? Now here's the problem. Are we going to have players going into the health and safety protocol when the playoffs start? That's going to be
That's
key.
what you mean. Okay.
That's what I mean.
I see where you're going.
If players decide that
Um,
they're not going to shut it down and focus in,
then there's gonna
you're
be a
gonna have
problem. Yeah.
you're gonna imagine in the middle of a key series, a tight series, you have an
Five guys are out.
outbreak, five guys going out. This adds an element that it will bring nightmares to certain organizations where they've had a history of players that just cannot focus like that. Their focus is a blend, where they need that interaction with the outside world in order to
Yeah,
play
they
at the
need that
highest level.
slight distraction.
Exactly, exactly. And I think
They,
that's where
they
the
need to be
issue is
like
going to
Dennis
be.
Rodman, but not
Yeah.
that extreme. Not that
After the
extreme.
game,
Yeah,
I need to party. I need to.
that's right. That's right.
So if you
That's
have
right.
that, you're going to run into an issue where you have, you know, outbreaks, and that
Yeah,
can change a series entirely, right? That can flip a series on its head. I
it
mean,
can.
imagine the starters on both teams being out of the series and you're down to both benches finishing
The
off a
benches.
7-game series, right? I mean, that would be, it would
Yo,
be, that would be crazy to look at, right?
that'd be interesting though, because like let's say the series is 3-2. We go into game
Yeah,
6, and
yeah,
then there's
yeah.
a COVID protocol, and then
Exactly.
you have the next 2 games.
Be the
It's
greatest bench
bench
player of
players.
all time to finish a series, right?
That's
Start
right.
a game 7 and none of the starters available. Man, that would be insane. That would be
That'd be
insane.
interesting.
That would be
That'd be
interesting.
really that really
But
would be.
no. So without sticking too long on Brooklyn, I still
Yeah,
have a lot of questions for them. But
fair enough.
we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see
Yeah.
what happens.
All right.
What else is going on, man? What else is hitting us in the
So
news? This
so the NBA announced the new format in the Rising Stars All
I like
Star
it.
Weekend,
I like it.
right?
I like it.
So for those that don't know, it's going to be 4 7-player teams
Right.
competing in a 3-game tournament, and each game having a final target score. So it's like we're playing a 21 or something.
Right.
Right? So it's a 3 games, and each game having a final task. So like we play 21. Cool?
Right.
There's gonna be 28 players, 12 rookies, 12 sophomores, because the rising game is between rookies and sophomores. It's gonna be 12 rookies, 12 sophomores, and then for the first time they're gonna have some 4 G League players. I like the fact that they're bringing in G League players, because since they started giving out like top ranked players and getting them to come in without going to college,
You
you
gotta
have to
give them
find out what
exposure.
you got to get them exposure. You got to
That's
find a way to
perfect.
for them
That's
to come
perfect.
in,
Yeah, that's
right?
perfect. Yep,
So that's a good way to introduce them.
I like that.
I,
Yep.
I actually like I actually like that one.
Yeah. No, no,
It
no,
was crazy,
that's actually good. That's actually good. I
right?
think that yeah, yeah, absolutely. I like the format. It tells me the NBA is actually really trying to tinker with their format. You know, I think it
Yes.
needs an overhaul, and we're starting to
I
see that.
mean,
Look at
that
what the
game
scoring
before
did.
was horrible.
Yeah, yeah. Look at the scoring mechanism now, right? With to honor Kobe and what that
Yes,
did and the type of finishes we've seen in games. I mean,
that is
ooh,
so nice.
just it brought me back to the 90s, man. And ultimately what I want to see either the skills, I mean the skills challenge can stay, but ultimately I want to see a
Tweak, just
1v1.
tweaked a little.
I need a 1v1
Oh,
tournament, man.
like back in the day, like a
Yeah,
one v
yeah.
one.
Like that video that we've seen with Kareem Abdul versus Dr. J.
And Dr. J.
Um,
Yeah,
we need a 1v1 tournament, man. I think
a
that's
quick
gonna
1v1 tournament. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Just first the three or something like that, you know, and have it be a fun game. You know, you can
yeah,
enter certain rules. You know, make sure no hard fouls or anything like that. You know, and recognize that it's not definitive. You know, because I know players out there are concerned about legacies and all these things, but and open it to players. You know, I mean, maybe you can have. I don't know how you would fit that in the schedule, but you know, something along those lines would, of course, have to work out. But I think definitely having a 1v1 makes this interesting. I think that's one of the major elements. I would even, honestly, looking at the fact that NBA players are concerned about their careers because of
hmm
the energy and the torque you put on your knees, landing on them in the dunk contest. We've seen like a really I want to say depreciation in the quality of the dunk contest, right?
that is correct.
I would say open it up. There's a show that Shaq and others have taken part in that brings in the best dunkers from all over the world.
Yo,
Honestly, make it the highlight of the weekend, the Saturday.
just bringing guys
Yeah,
that really want to dunk and can
yeah.
dunk.
G League, open it up. You
Yeah.
had guys, you have guys that could do the 720 out there, right? It
Yes.
exists. This
Yeah.
whole
Between
360
the
stuff to us is
between the legs twice.
we've seen it. We've seen
Yeah.
it. So bring in the open world, or even, I get it, right? It will take away from the NBA dunk contest. But to me, at this point, there's nothing really to take away from anymore.
Because
We've
there's
seen
nothing there to see.
countless, I don't know, disappointing dunk contests, and it's really not on the players to you know to really take on. It's just so much you could do at the end of the day without doing something that's going to risk your career,
I
right?
mean, yeah,
So
you're not wrong.
yeah, so
The last good one was between Aaron Gordon and
that's it.
Zach Levine.
That's
That
it.
was the last good one.
And shout out to Gordon. He deserved to win that. You know,
I thought so as well.
those dunks he was doing were
They were
just
crazy.
spectacular.
They were
And
crazy.
I'll say this: the dunk contest should be honestly a shootout, right? A round robin style dunk contest.
Right.
There have been reports after the dunk contest from players that have witnessed the dunks these players have kept in their reserve during
Right.
practice that we did not see the best of these dunks. I am
Yeah, because
tired of hearing that.
they
And
were
they didn't
saving
make
it for
it
the
through.
final round. Yeah.
Have the dunk contest be every player gets to do all of their dunks. And you do like a score of their top two. And you do
Okay.
and you add it up. That's it. So no hiding dunks or anything. You gotta lay
Right.
it
Right.
all out. And even if two of your dunks are not good, you still
You still
we
have
only
another
count
two
that
to
two.
back up. Yeah.
That's the way to go. So we get full entertainment, that full spectrum, because the dunk contest should just be a dunk show, man, not guys being eliminated early. Just crown them after. You know what I mean? So to
Yeah.
me, I think the only thing that should have like elimination is a skills contest and a 3-point shootout, right? Um,
Fair enough.
but
But
yeah.
there's also another change that they made to the
Ah,
Rising Stars and All
okay.
Star.
Okay.
They will have a clutch challenge in between the middle of games
Ooh.
2 and 3. So So that's 8 NBA and G League players are divided into 4 teams of 2, and they will have to make 5 baskets from 5 iconic NBA NBA playoff shots. So they have to make 5 baskets
Wow.
from different spots where iconic shots have happened.
So is this kind of like a horse type situation where you got to mimic the
Basically,
move and land it?
I'm not sure. They didn't really go into detail about what it was, but
Well,
they say from the spot.
so you know what's going to happen? You're going to get a lot of viewers coming in back on Saturday, right, to see what's going on. That is it
Viewers
on
like me.
Saturday? That game is Saturday night, right?
It's Saturday night, yeah.
Okay, good. That's good. Dames, bye bye, OKC.
Oh yeah, that could be.
Gotta be. You absolutely have to have that. And you got guys that can nail it up. So I mean, yeah, let's that would be definitely one of the shots you have to have.
Might have that. You might have the Kyrie shot.
Yep. The Kyrie shot is one of those. Yeah, you got a lot actually that you
got
can
a lot,
choose
yeah.
from. A lot. You got the Kawhi shot over
yes, the
Embiid.
Kawhi in the corner. That's
so,
tough for that.
Yeah, that's a tough one. So what I don't know is if they would have like I don't know, more like a player to that's acting as
Because
a
it's
defender
two,
or something.
It's teams of 2.
Okay,
So I
so
don't
you're
know.
gonna have. Okay, so who knows what the format for
It's-
executing it will be, right?
I think that's just eliminated. You remember they used to have like the WNBA and the NBA come together and have
Yeah,
that too.
yeah.
Right. I think it's just gonna. That's
Something like
basically
that.
what.
So each
yeah,
player will
something
have
like
a
that.
chance on that team to execute and do whatever it is
probably,
that's up
yeah.
next. That's cool, man. I like it. And you pay homage to all the old moves
All the
as well,
old moves.
right?
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I like that. I like the direction. Yeah, no, it's I say, I like the remix. Shout out to Shannon, by the way. The shot from Kawhi definitely is one of those. But
Listen,
that's a hard shot to mimic, right? Because those bounces on the rim.
I was like 10 bounces.
Time stood still, man. Time stood still, man. It just, yeah, that was insane. So I think definitely that's one of those things that they have to do. Yeah. Any other changes that weekend coming in, or
No, that's all I have for right now.
Okay.
Everything else is just like league wide,
right?
news and shit.
Okay, no, that's good, man. I like that. You never know, man. I could see actually the NBA going to a battle royale type situation where the court, your area on the court shrinks over time as the planners get younger, man. You're gonna see stuff like that, man, entering into it.
Possible. That could be a fun mini game or something like that.
Yeah. Where you have to execute within a smaller space, right?
Time,
so yeah. So as the game goes on, with every shot you make, it's easier for the defense to lock in on you because you can't move the ball as far, etc. So that yeah, definitely. But I definitely have to say props to that team, and of course shout out to the late great Kobe Bryant. We didn't have our show on Tuesday, but I saw that a sculpture definitely paid homage to all the victims, and they laid down a statue at the crash location. So definitely I like the fact that he's being honored, his daughter, and of course the crash victims. So shout out to the late great guy and what he's brought to the game and how he's influenced all of us. Legend, man, legend. All right,
I'm not gonna lie. I still keep thinking that he's just gonna walk out from somewhere.
Yeah, man.
Doesn't feel like he's just gonna walk out like bushes or something like that.
Yeah,
it was like,
yeah. It's because he's beaten everything, right? He's
exactly.
triumphed over everything. So, and he's that much of a figure that you just think, nah, that's not enough to take out Kobe, man. That's not enough. That's not it. That's not it. Yeah, that's not it.
I can see the evidence, but my mind is just telling me, yo, listen, he's out there. He's out there.
Yeah,
he's there.
Facts. As I say, his family. I'm just happy that his wife. You look at all the stuff she's had to go through after the legal system and what they've put
Yeah,
her
boy.
through, having to take psych tests and all those things, trying to get her to do one, I believe. And
Yeah.
then the pictures. For me, honestly, I the more I read in, I had to actually stop because the more I learned about the crash, I mean,
I
it
couldn't
just
I
was
couldn't I
so,
couldn't I couldn't go past the point.
yeah. One of these,
I had to shut off.
yeah,
I didn't want to see anything. So I could understand. Like I remember she came out with a post at time saying, "Guys, we love all the prayers and all everything, but the tags, please stop tagging us
yeah,
because people would just keep tagging them in everything
yeah.
and pictures. They were tagging them in everything, and there were pictures everywhere. So every time they went online,
That's what
it
they
was
saw.
just that's just what they saw. Every
Yeah,
time they went online, they saw. So that must have been so difficult.
yeah. I don't blame her either. I don't blame her either. I think one of those days over the past year, I think it was, pandemics going on, you're home more and stuff. So one of those days, I ended up on the deep end of Reddit, reading
Oh
about the
wow.
details of the crash. Oh my goodness, I regret every second of that deep dive. It was so unnecessary, and but it's gruesome, man. It's just, yeah.
It,
When you
yeah.
when you read about the details, it's just, yeah. It's not fun, man.
Mm,
So, but R.I.P. to his the late great, of course, and what he brought to the game. Of course, they're gonna honor him this weekend just by the
yes.
format of the
Of
game, the
course.
All
Of
Star
course.
game. So, so looking forward to that entirely. No, no. I like the players showing homage as well. So many
Oh
of
yeah.
them are actually just tied to Kobe. They play
Yeah,
because of him, right? So
it's very
yeah,
interesting because the whole new generation that that was basically their Michael Jordan,
yeah, 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 yeah.
right?
So
So
yeah,
they
yeah,
idolize him and everything like they do, That's why he had all
absolutely.
these mama mentalities going around when
Yeah, yeah,
he
yeah,
passed
yeah, yeah.
away.
It's huge,
So
huge, and
yeah,
he just that persona, man, is just something that would touch anybody in basketball, man. I mean, whether you hate it or love it, you still it still gets your
yeah,
attention. It still gets your
exactly.
respect.
You have to pay
So
attention.
yeah, yeah. Honestly, I didn't like Brian as a player in the start.
Yeah, we know.
I was like, nah, this is not
We
my
know.
guy, man. So, I used the things I said about him, I still stand by, but it's like, because I didn't like the Lakers. I didn't like their organization. I didn't like the fact that they were winning the way they were. And then even though they were losing, here's this guy dropping 40, 50, 60 on your favorite player. So
like,
it even
like,
made me even
mm,
more furious. So over the years, right? When I saw a player coming up to chance, be like, yeah, get him. Like McGrady. When I saw McGrady, I wasn't a big fan of McGrady, but I was like, that's the anti-Kobe right there, You see Ron Artest is like, get him. You see the clothesline, I'm like, yeah, get him while he was on the Rocket. So, I felt like I was working with the henchman, man. Ultimate hater experience. But I mean, he made you respect him, man. He made
oh,
you
definitely.
respect him, and
You gotta like my game, but you will respect it.
you will exactly, exactly. So, but he is just an absolute legend. And when he got to changing his number, and went to 24, and you saw that this different aspect of him, right?
Yeah, same
Where he
animal,
opened
different
up.
beast.
Exactly. That's where he kind of like, oh, this guy is someone I could actually, I can mess with.
Yeah,
I can,
he became a
yeah.
little bit more like it was
It's
like a
approachable.
personal.
He was
Yes,
approachable at
he
that
seemed
point.
more approachable at the
Yeah.
time. Like you saw like, oh, okay, he's cool though.
He was doing, yeah, he was doing more, he was, and on top of that, I think what cracked it open for me was when my favorite player started kind of showing his lighter sides. When Braun and him went to the Olympics, all those
Yes,
videos of those
yes.
guys.
Those was hilarious though.
Yeah, yeah. I saw and him laughing and stuff. Not many players were reaching him like that. I mean,
That's
Kobe's
true.
just knowing players celebrating. He's like, what are
Yeah.
y'all celebrating? So when I saw that,
Is the job done? Job not
yeah,
done.
yeah, yeah. So, but you look back, man. There's so much to take from him. Talking points, snippets from his career. But definitely a player that we'll miss for our lifetimes, man. It's
Facts.
insane, insane.
I
Gone
mean,
too
not even just
soon.
a player, like a human being. Like, as
Yeah,
you miss
gone,
forever.
gone, gone way too soon, man. Just gone way too soon. So, but yeah, and here we are, where hopefully we'll see his game continuing to be replicated across the league, and
Definitely.
you see it's in different parts. Definitely on the players that he's worked with, and
Yeah.
some of the predictions that he came up with, they're still coming to
They're still
fruition.
coming true.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so it tells you how good this guy was, man. So R.I.P. Mamba. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Definitely.
So so in terms of any news you're seeing from your end on the 76ers and Ben Simmons?
70. No, I don't have anything on the 76ers right now.
Because I was picking up actually that the Trailblazers were trying to move the needle, and looking towards a trade that would include maybe a CJ McCollum. It's not known yet the details, but those are the active players, right? Ben Simmons, teams hunting down Ben Simmons, and teams trying to work out Jeremy Grant trade. There's been a lot going on there. But no one really taking the bite. We've heard news from the player and his agent, right? That, hey, I'm not taking a backseat to anyone really. I want to have a really good role on any team that I may go to. The thing is, when I look at any team that is anywhere from let's say top 7 with
Right.
aspirations of going very far in the NBA playoffs, I just don't see Jeremy Grant being a 1 or 2 option or being good enough to be a 1 or 2 on any one of them.
I do not
So
disagree with that.
yeah, so that's the issue I have.
Don't
I
forget,
just
he wants to be a number one player. He wants to be the
yeah,
primary.
yeah,
He wants to be primary, so he has to go on a team where he's a
yeah.
primary. And there are not many contending teams that would have Jeremy as the number one option.
Right, right. And Shannon was saying trade deadline is going to go by, and Ben is still going to be a Sixer.
Yeah,
He's
I think
just
they said that
not good enough.
they wanted to hold off so they could do a big trade in the off season and probably get James Harden or
Yeah, yeah,
another big name. Because there's
yeah,
not much market out there for James Harden
yeah, yeah.
the off season.
That's a trade I thought would be natural, right? Like just trying to do a swap, with a team that wants to take him on. But I think there would be some pushback from Kyrie and KD primarily as to how he would fit in that system, right? The Now Shannon was saying the league has to take some kind of action here. They need to investigate this and hand out some punishments. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, Shannon, if the league is already looking at the various front offices involved, and what they've offered, and looking at the Sixers, maybe not in direct dialogue as yet with the Sixers, right? I don't think they want
But what
to.
kind of punishment? Punishment to who?
Well, they
The
potentially
Sixers or
looking at
to
if
Ben?
right, potentially looking at who's at fault and if there's any lies going on. So, for example, investigating whether or not Simmons is lying about his mental
Huh?
state of mind,
It's
or
hard to tell.
investigating
It's hard to
right,
determine that one.
or investigating if the Sixers. Think about it this way: the Sixers are fining Ben right now,
Yeah.
right, for a huge portion of his salary. So
Mhm.
you're essentially gaining your salary back after you pay it out through the fines, right? That you're
Yeah.
issuing to him. So I could see the league like investigating that, like looking at it and saying, well, we're getting the money back right now, anyways, right? Depending on where they are with the cap, right? So they're not paying added into the cap for him, right? Let's say they're under cap, right? So there's no money lost there. Now, if you are fining Ben for his salary, it means you're getting back most of that salary and saving. Now, I know some people will look at that and say, well, we have Embiid and we're not going anywhere. But maybe they're looking at it through a financial standpoint where we have this player. He's not playing for us, yes. We could do better with him potentially, yes. However, we're gaining money here and we're not paying off a massive amount of money from a financial standpoint. So maybe the league takes a look at that and they say, well, one, are you getting any actual good trades? And if you are, why are you rejecting them? Why are you
Because they
flat
want
out
more.
rejecting them? Well, they wanted more for Ben. I think we've even heard Daryl Morey just last week said he, on a podcast, we are going to have to look at reducing our requirements for a Ben Simmons trade. So he even admitted that they were a bit high on the demands end,
That's
right?
funny.
So to me, that would, if I was the league, I would be like, well, I wouldn't want to jump in and get myself be too invasive, because anytime the league
Yes.
steps in, you get everlasting Chris Paul to the Lakers. We're still thinking and griping over that, right? So I don't
Yes.
think you
Yes, we
want.
are. Yes, we are.
Well, I'm
Yes, we
not.
are.
I was jumping for joy at the time, but
Yes,
you,
we
you
are.
get that sense of you get that sense, right? But what else did Shannon say? Both sides find the team suspend or find Clutch and suspend Ben for the season or something. Man,
Damn.
you're going scorch
All
of
in.
earth, man.
Go all in. Damn.
Ah, hey, there's still time, man. So you might be wrong. They might be able to move him at some point and get something back in the meantime. So there's that. Um, what else is happening, man? What else is going on?
I mean, we just spoke about what's his name, Ben and James Harden, but James Harden has said basically he's voiced his frustration regarding Kyrie Irving and his part-time playing status, and it's unclear. Well, he's made it very clear, I should say, that he intends to test out free agency, even if it leads him back to the Nets.
Mm,
But
wow.
the when you check the market of free agency, it's not going to be a good market because most teams, like most good teams, don't have any cap space. I
Right.
think there's like 3 teams with cap space. That's a Magic and 2 other teams. Can't remember right now, but I know the Magic is one. I mean, obviously,
Right. So,
ain't nobody in Magic.
quick rumor mill. Would you execute on this trade? So this is floating around, by the way, on my radar right now.
Let me hear.
Indiana receives Ben Simmons and Jaden
Okay.
Springer.
Okay.
And Philly would receive Sabonis, Levert, and Justin Holiday. That's an expensive trade, man, for Ben Simmons. I'm not sure. So you're telling me they are willing to work with Miles Turner and Ben Simmons as their 2 frontal points? To me, that's a bad trade. I'm not sure I would do that. I would do that. So Shannon was saying the situation is infuriating as a fan. I could only imagine how hard it is on Philly fans. Oh, trust
Well, I
me.
mean, the same Philly fans that came down on Ben because same Philly fans that said they didn't want him there.
I think that. Well, I think they're frustrated because they want him gone, and this. I think. Well, here's the thing, right? It's really hard to blame Ben the longer this goes on, because at some point you're going to look at your franchise and say, well, you're controlling the price. If you really want him out, put him out there and trade him.
Just trade him.
Yeah, at least anything right now on the court would help him beat.
Listen,
So
you can get 2 solid players right now. I'm sure there were trades that you can get. You could have gotten some, or even one great, like 3rd role, 2nd role guy, and 2 good role players already.
Easily.
Right? Easily. And you could have been the top 3 team in the East.
Easily.
But no, you chose to hold on to Ben and say we're going to hold him off until next season. So we could probably get James Harden if he's angry enough to leave the Nets.
It's you have to point a finger at the institution, right? You have to.
So that means you don't want to win now. You want to win later.
Yeah.
Okay.
You'd be surprised, right, in terms of Levert, but I think that's expensive. I wouldn't move Levert based on what I'm seeing. I wouldn't move him for the world right now. I would keep him around.
Levert.
I would not move the both of them. I'm moving one, and keeping the other, because I mean he brings so much on the offensive side.
I feel like I'm losing something in Indy. I'm losing something.
Right.
Offense. That's what I'm losing. I'm losing offense if I move those guys.
Yeah. Now, here's another thing that popped up on my radar, right? And I'm going through them. So I don't know whether or not this may just be a rumor, but so we only heard of a trade rumor from Boston that was floated to LA when Davis was out injured, right? And of course, the Lakers, we know the predicament they're in. They're finding it increasingly harder to move Westbrook. But there was a rumor.
Not happening.
Right. There was a rumor about Davis again. This one involving Toronto. So the Toronto Raps would receive Anthony Davis and Horton Tucker,
Okay.
and the Lakers would receive Siakam and Anunoby, Watanabe, and I cannot pronounce this name for the life of me. Svi Maluki.
Oh, okay. I know who you're talking
Yeah,
about. Yeah.
Maluk or Malik.
Yeah. Okay.
So that it's a huge trade, but I'm not sold on it.
No.
I'm not sold on that.
No.
To me,
No.
you have to have picks in any Davis trade. The Lakers
Don't have any until
don't have
2027.
you have to have picks in
You
there.
gotta have at least a second round, at least a second rounder in there somewhere.
Absolutely have to. You need picks. So I would not pull the trigger on that, to be honest, at all. Just it doesn't make sense.
The trade,
to me, so
it adds too many wings. That's a lot of wings. You got Siakam, you got OG. That's a lot of wings.
Absolutely, absolutely. So for me, I don't think that's something the Lakers would probably scoff at that. To be honest,
ain't nobody want that.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. There is one more trade that I saw that involves the Atlanta Hawks and Portland Trail Blazers, and this one is closer to realistic, I believe, because you do have two teams that actually are in the market. So you have Atlanta Hawks receiving C.J. McCollum and Robert Covington. And then the Portland Trail Blazers actually would receive John Collins and Gallinari. Now, to me, I think that's a squared up trade. It works on salary, but it just depends on I think the Blazers would have to be in the market for other players. They would have to be in the market for other players because, as I said, I like Collins as a athletic,
I like
shifty big man in transition. I think he would add something to their team, definitely some toughness potentially. But I think you'd still need more. To me, the Blazers, what their true position that they've really needed a star in is a forward.
They needed a wing.
Yeah, I would be on the phone with the Raptors for Siakam, even though he's not really the most athletic wing out there, but he's still a wing. I would be on the phone with Jimmy Butler is locked down.
Jimmy not going anywhere.
Yeah, he's not going anywhere. I mean, maybe
not going nowhere.
The only wing you can really get on the market right now is maybe get on the phone with Detroit, try to get in, Jeremy Grant. But at the same
time, be
a
number one option.
Yeah, well, he could be a top 2 option on that team after
CJ.
Yeah, well, not
CJ's
even.
gone.
I'm thinking CJ is you're shipping CJ out as part of that package, right?
Yeah, so it could be a backup.
Yeah, but you could do it in a way where maybe you get some additional pieces. So maybe if we're blowing this thing up and all you're keeping is Dame, it means that Nurkic, Dame and your youth, of course, like Simmons and so on. But
keep Simmons.
Yeah, I would blow it up, man. Put Nurkic and CJ on the market and try to get maybe I'm not even looking at Grant, man. In my mind, Grant is just not enough for that's I think that's finessing Detroit. Well, not Detroit. I think that's finessing the Blazers based on what you could get for CJ. CJ is a legit 23 points per game a night, right? You might get maybe 2 assists, but can hit the 3, can take over in the clutch for you if you need him to. He's kind of to me, CJ is like a smaller version of Chris Middleton in terms of what he can do. Smaller version of Chris.
Yeah.
Kind of similar Batman, so he can be your Robin pretty much if you needed him to be. He's a bit smaller, of course, so defensively and other things he might be not as capable, but to me, I would. You gotta take advantage of that.
I got a trade for you. What do you think about Gordon Hayward for CJ?
I wouldn't do it.
I mean, it wouldn't be a straight up trade. I mean, obviously, but they're the main pieces.
Here's why, right? Your value of Hayward is much higher than mine. Much higher.
Mm.
Yeah. I
Mm.
I think you rate Simmons as a star almost in the league. I honestly, in the back of your mind, I don't think you have him as a exceptional talent. I think you have him at all star. So not star, all star.
Okay.
Um, I have him as an exceptional talent. I don't think he's an all star really. So I would
Mm.
not shift CJ for Hayward because to me, Hayward would not give me as much as CJ. That would, to me, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. Nothing against Hayward. I mean, he's a
Okay.
baller. So, but I wouldn't do it. Um,
See, there we go. But hey, well, that's the same value. Same value.
same value. I wouldn't do it. I think Hayward is a step down from CJ. Even when I consider that they do slightly different things, um, I wouldn't do it. I don't know. Yeah,
He was
if that's
he's a nice all around guy.
I wish you could put Shannon in caps because honestly, see that first part of your statement? If Hayward
If
could stay healthy, that's huge. Let's not pretend. Wow, my mic just went crazy there. But let's
yeah, yeah.
not let's not pretend that that's not a huge part of that value, right? Staying healthy, people. All right? No, 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 no. All right? So remember the guy was an all-star. Yeah, I remember he was an all-star in the Loaded West, but um, I just don't have him at that value. I just don't have him
That's
there at all.
fair.
Um,
That's fair. No worries.
yeah.
It's cool. I
What else
understand.
would you move for a CJ? What do you think is out there for a CJ?
It depends. It depends on which team he's going to.
Right.
I wouldn't mind. That's why I brought up the Hornets because I need a second. I need a scorer that ball can pass the ball to. But right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I need a consistent scorer out there. I mean, Bridges is trying, but he's not like a consistent scorer.
Right.
You got Hayward. Well, he's out right now because COVID. Um, but they don't have like a consistent scorer. They play good team basketball though, but they don't
Mhm.
have like a scorer to give the ball to. Yo, give me a bucket. I mean, you could say Lamelo, but he's not really a bucket getter. Right?
Gotta move for you.
He goes out there and he gets stuff done, but he's not even a bucket getter. Oh, you got to move for me? All right, let me hear.
So I think the Sixers and the Lakers should do some business. I would look at Seth. Lakers need shooters. They need a knockdown artist right now.
You're not getting Seth.
You gotta package something where you try to
I still don't
get.
understand how the Mavs let Seth go.
It makes zero sense, man, to me. But based on that, it means that they can probably go with them, right? They can probably get him
Okay.
for something. Now,
All right, let's hear it.
keep in mind this the right now the Sixers need uh
LeBron for Seth.
wow,
Okay, all
wow,
right.
wow, wow. No. You got to look at none or THC.
All
I
right.
would go with none because the Sixers they need someone that can hold the ball, and really they need a playmaker, right? So you
Yes.
have a young talent in THC that has shown some flashes of what he can do. I think that would be. I mean, to me, they make almost the same, right? Seth is at 8 million. What is Horton Tucker at right now? I think he's
Not
at
that.
what, 5?
Around there.
Yeah, he's at 5. So I mean, you could make a trade work with that, right? Um, you could package. You could even package none if you needed to make it work. If it wasn't that close. So I mean, listen. Here's the thing, right? The
Oh,
Sixers
actually,
are in dire need of a playmaker. They need someone
oh
that
shit.
can.
His salary is high actually. His salary is 10 a year.
Wow.
3 years,
So
3 years, $30 million.
yeah, so it can work. Now,
Okay.
again, people will look at this and say, well, what are we doing in terms of, letting go of a shooter potentially? But you have to look at the system the 76ers are playing in right now, right? They're playing center out, and
Yeah,
Embiid is not a slasher kicking out as he drives to the basket. Embiid is looking to go to the basket when he gets the ball, right? He's not really of a drive
yeah,
and kick player. So it's a different. It's different now. If they can do that, you have to remember the Lakers have like an infinite amount of players at that $1 to $2 million salary range,
which is true.
vets that can come in, that you can actually make sense of, right? So in terms of adding to that trade, you can add some serious pieces to there. Now, I wouldn't move Malik Monk. I would not move Melo. Um, but anyone else for me outside of maybe let's add Dwight Howard to the. I wouldn't move Dwight either. To me, he's a key piece you want to keep in LA. But
Good role player.
anyone else, I'm considering. The more I think about the roster, I'm finding more people that I don't want to move either. New guy that used to play for Detroit,
Stanley.
Stanley. I'm
Stanley
not
Johnson.
moving Stanley, man. I'm not moving Stanley. So anybody else outside of that, I'm moving. Okay, so to make sense of that trade, and the Sixers, believe it or not, you can open it. It's a small trade. I'm sure they would
Right.
look at Seth is great, all right, but he's not a piece that you're gonna consider cannot touch at this point. Okay, so I think if they made sense of that, I think that's something that they could definitely look at and make work. Now, we were talking about LA, and I think Mike is just resetting his. He's having some technical difficulties on his end. Now, today I actually heard that the Lakers were potentially looking at Eric Gordon as a potential piece to bring in um, for their uh, for their offense. And again, it fits with what their needs are, right? They're looking for a shooter, a guy that is just a proven. I don't think they're going to risk anymore going with vets, potentially that are streaky in nature, that have converted their shot. Gordon has been a guy that's been dropping 3 pointers for most of his career. So at this point, he's a past 3 point champion. So at this point, I think it makes sense for a guy like that to be there, right? A guy that can drop it from 35 feet out if he needed to. He still does
They're
it. He
not,
averages like 14 points a game. I mean,
but
why not?
they're not looking to trade him right now. They said that he's a key
Really?
pot. That he's a key part to,
That
well,
makes
he's a
no
to
sense.
leading their young core. That's what it was. Yes.
That is nonsense. I can't believe Gordon would actually stay there for that, man.
I
Oh my
mean,
goodness.
it's not like he could force his way out. He's
Right,
not like a
right.
star. He's not like a star like that back, like how he
Wow.
was back in the day.
Yeah, wow. 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 That's
Yeah,
crazy. That's crazy. So no, yeah. Anyways. Well, it makes sense, right? Because you look at that Wall Westbrook trade that was proposed, and it was outside of the realm of reality,
exactly,
right? So I could
exactly.
totally understand the Rockets wanted to keep Eric Gordon, even though they have a legit chance of rebuilding. But
Exactly.
no, leave it
Who
to the
cares about
Rockets, man.
rebuilding?
Yeah, yeah.
Who
That is
cares?
just utterly crazy. Um, no, the rumors keep coming, man. Here's another scenario.
Yeah, what's up?
Sacramento Kings would
Oh my
receive
God.
Tobias Harris, Danny Green, a first round pick, lottery protected, and a Philadelphia 2023 second round pick.
For who?
Wh- while the Philadelphia 76ers would receive Harrison Barnes and Buddy Hield. Ugh,
Oh, what?
I don't like it. I don't think that's a
You
possibility,
don't
man.
like it for who?
I don't like it for Sacramento.
Oh yeah, it's a horrible trade for Sacramento. It's a great trade for Philly.
Oh yeah, that makes them immediate title contenders.
Yeah,
You just
definitely.
you just picked up two legit players for. I
For one.
well, you know what?
For
Here's the
one.
thing: you are getting a lottery protected first round pick, right? For
Yes.
2022, you are receiving a second round pick for 2023, and you are getting I would say. Hold on, man. Here's the thing, right? I'm looking at this. Tobias Harris. I still think I'm being screwed. You got to make that second round pick for 23, a first round pick, unprotected.
Mm.
I'm not taking that second round pick, to be honest. But if that was something that can happen, I mean, Wow, Philadelphia would have finessed the hell out of the Sacramento Kings, to be
Definitely.
honest, and they would be
Yo,
making
listen.
some noise.
The last two games from the Sacramento Kings were horrible. Last night they lost by what, 30? And the night before
Right?
they lost by 54 or something. I think the whole
Yeah,
team should be traded.
yeah,
Let's just get rid of everybody.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it makes sense, right? It makes sense. Um, would you trade Duncan Robinson? We've been hearing a lot of noise about him, right?
It depends on who we getting, because right now the Heat number one in East. So
Yeah.
it depends on who we getting back.
Yeah, I would say that's based on circumstances, right? You look at the Nets, just faltering a bit, and you look at the 76ers, those teams, all those teams. The East is sort of, and then the Bulls have an injury crisis at the moment. They've lost back-to-back
Yeah.
players with injuries, 6 to 8 weeks. And then they had the whole COVID spat that sort of
Exactly.
completely derailed their rhythm. So I'm not sure I would.
And Lonzo is
use it.
out with injury.
I forgot about Lonzo. So they definitely have a major crisis. Would the Heat beat the Bulls? That would be a good series to watch, because you're looking at both teams have a
Yeah.
that's a nice series there. But I wouldn't consider the Heat the outright number one seed and the best team. They're the number one seed. That's the reality. But I wouldn't consider them the number one, the outright best team in the East right now. Given how the Bucks are faltering, Miami Bucks series would be amazing, to look at. So I got a trade involving Duncan for you, right?
Ooh, all right.
So you got the Mavericks receive Duncan Robinson and Okpala, and the Miami Heat would receive Dorian Finney-Smith, Maxi Cleaver, a 2024 first round pick, top 20 protected, and a 2022 second round pick. Could you do a deal like that?
No, I don't think so.
To me, the Heat should be in win now mode, so I'm not sure I'm even interested in a deal involving being pick heavy like that. I mean, I admire the fact that they're including a first round pick for Duncan.
I need more.
Yeah,
I need when I say more, I mean like a better player, an upgrade to Duncan.
Yeah.
So if I could get a player that is Duncan that plays D, then great.
Right.
But he's an integral part in that system.
Yeah, I agree. No, so that's interesting, man. Now we're not gonna say who, but I want everyone to know that we are working on our guests as well, and next week we need folks to tune in, because we may just have a short. I want to say just a short show on Tuesday in prep for our February 3rd episode, because what we have coming for you is definitely going to step things up again. As you know, we had a past NBA player on the show, Ethan Thomas, and that was a splendid program. If you haven't seen it, tune in. It's at the top of the Facebook page where you can grab it. But definitely we want people to tune in because we have a major player joining us on the show. You may see us, one of us or two of us, go live this weekend just to talk about it. All right. So we may break the usual protocol and just to talk, let you know what's coming, because we want you not to miss this. Okay. Definitely gonna be some fireworks next week. So stay tuned for that.
Be good.
For sure. In fact, the month of February is looking good. We're constantly in talks with people, and as I said, trying to make the show evolve. This is an experiment, and we want it to work. We want our audience to be fully entertained. So definitely that's coming. Now, of course, we missed on our bets, so we definitely got to get back on that. What games we got going on, man? What do we have going on?
Shit.
Let's get these choices, man. Let's get these choices.
So you can lose again?
Ah, man. You gotta protect your little streak, right? Your little streak.
Hey, man. That's a good streak.
Yeah.
Hey, that was a good streak. All right, I got my paper. Oh, pen at? I got my pen. All right, so we getting tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Let's do tomorrow games. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 11 games. Nice.
Yeah, that's good. That's tomorrow or
Yes, tomorrow.
okay, good, good, good.
All
Yeah,
right,
shout out to Jeffrey, right?
yo,
Yeah,
Jeff.
yeah. So
Hatway. Hateway.
you already know.
All right, first game is Pistons Magic. Who you got?
Uh
Horrible.
wow, that's
Yeah,
a
it is.
wow. Give me the
Give,
Magic,
give me
man.
the
The Magic.
Give me the Pistons.
All right, that's good. That's good. I like the Magic actually. They've shown themselves to be pretty good, man, against top teams. They keep it close for 3 quarters and then
Uh,
get blown out in the fourth.
against top teams, that when you play teams that's
Yeah,
better than
you
you,
step up, right?
and you tend to play better. Yeah, exactly. When you play guys on the same level as you play trash.
Yeah, true, true, true.
All right, next game is Lakers and Hornets.
Hmm.
It depends on if LeBron plays tomorrow, so I'll say Lakers. Even though I really want to say Hornets.
Give me the Hornets, man. Give me the Hornets.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay. All
Yeah.
right. Celtics and Hawks. This is a tough one.
Give me the Celtics, man. Celtics.
Ooh, he's going with the C's. Every time
Yeah.
I pick the C's, they lose.
They lose.
So I'm gonna take the Hawks.
Yeah, Shannon, I'm with you on that, man. I'm going with the Hornets, man. That's
Wow. Yo, it
yeah.
depends on if LeBron plays. If LeBron plays, Lakers gonna win this.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that, man. He's been playing a lot, and they haven't been winning.
You see?
So
He
yeah.
chooses C's.
I'm yeah. It's yeah. Give me the C's.
All right, cool. So next one, Clippers and the Heat. This one is not. Well, I
Give me
mean,
the
I was
Heat.
gonna take
Straight up.
Yeah,
Give me the number one seed in the East.
I'm taking the Heat as well. Then after that, we have Pacers and Thunder. I got Pacers.
Yeah, I got Pacers as well. Yeah.
Then we got Trailblazers and Rockets. Give me the Rockets. Give me the Rockets. Give me the Rockets.
Nah, I'm a fan of Simmons, man. Anthony Simmons, man. So
I had a
I'm
feeling you'd say
Give me the
that.
Blazers, man. Give me the Blazers, straight up.
I had a feeling. All right, so
Yeah.
Nuggets and Pelicans. Let's go with the Nuggets. You're gonna say the Nuggets. You know you want to say the Nuggets.
Wait, Nuggets and who?
Pelicans. Actually, the Pelicans could win, eh?
Yeah, it's not as easy. It's not as clear cut, man. The Nuggets lose some weird games, man.
They really do.
Ingram is out though, right?
I'm
Is he
not
still
entirely
playing?
And he can outscore
Give me the Nuggets,
Pelicans.
man. Give me the Nuggets. I gotta play it safe there. I gotta play it
All
safe
right,
with
cool.
that one.
All right, so next
Jokic
is
can outscore the Pels by himself. It's true, man. It's true. It's true.
so next game is Jazz and Grizzlies. This is gonna be a
Jazz
tough
and
game.
Grizzlies.
That's a tough one.
Give me the Grizz, man. The Jazz have been struggling as of late, man. It's like been losing.
I want to say. All right, Grizzlies. I got Grizzlies.
Yeah, I'm going with the Grizzlies, man. They're showing themselves out, man. Playing ball.
Yeah, Bulls and Spurs. Drink your water, sir.
Wow.
I mean, I want to go with my Spurs, so I'm gonna go with my Spurs.
Nah, man. Give me a second, man. Jeez, because
You had to think about this.
nah, because yeah, the Bulls right now, man, they've been losing, man. Like I mean, like badly. That's a tough. It's not tough. Give me the Spurs, man. Give me the Spurs.
Oh
The
wow,
Bulls
you're
don't-
actually thinking about Spurs? Damn.
Yeah, the Bulls don't have. They just don't have enough pieces right now. Injuries, man. It's horrible. They have no rhythm.
He says the Grizz is gonna take it, and then he's got the Bulls. Interesting.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no, no, no. I'm telling you, man, it's not really about who they have, it's the
It's
rhythm that they're
about
in.
that team game.
That team game, that's what they've relied on, you know? It's just a
Yep.
system. You know, you got Caruso, that energy off the bench and everything. If you look at the last few games they had, and I'm by the way, Shannon, I'm in Chicago, right? So but you know, it's just I just feel like their rhythm right now is completely broken. Just completely broken. So I wouldn't pick the Bulls right now to beat the Spurs. The Spurs are a well executing team, and despite them losing, I mean they lose, right? They're not a great team, but you know they can
They're really
execute
good.
enough to beat the Bulls right now.
Mm,
Caruso, Ball, and who else is out? There was a recent injury as well.
somebody.
Yeah, I can't remember his name exactly, but he's out as well. So I honestly, I would not go with the Bulls at the moment, even if they have Levine and DeRozan healthy. Yeah. Who else we got?
Okay. All right. So we got another good one. Timberwolves and Suns.
Give me the Suns. Suns
I'm a
are
I'm gonna go with the upset. I'm gonna go T Wolves.
wow. Where are they playing, by the way?
They are playing in Phoenix.
Yeah, the Suns have the Suns have such a good record at home, man. I'm surprised you're gonna call that.
Hey,
I'm
listen.
all
Actually, they
right.
have a good record. They have a good record against teams above 500, and they have an even better record against teams under 500.
I mean, it's just a good record all over, right? So
Yeah,
it's just a good record. So at the end of the day, yeah, that's easy money, Shannon. That's easy money. The loser
I'm
usually has
just
to drink shots. So I
I'm
mean,
just
hey,
going
I'll
for
take
the
it.
upset here. Okay, I just
I'll,
have a feeling that's going to be an upset. That's
I
all.
hear that. I hear that.
All
I
right.
hear that.
And last but not least, we got the Knicks and the
Yeah,
Bucks.
the Knicks and the Buck. Hmm.
I'm gonna take the Bucks.
Wow. That's you know why that's tough because Milwaukee is another team that lately has just not been playing their best basketball. I still
Man,
think they're
they play a great game, and then the next game they're like, I don't know
just
what to
off.
do. Yeah.
I'm gonna take the Bucks still. Shout out to the Bucks. We're just an hour and a half away. I'll check for playoff tickets when the time comes. It might be worth it
Also, I wanna know, why did the Knicks trade for Cam Reddish if they're not gonna play him?
because they are one of the worst teams, organizations in basketball. I don't care who they hire. The Knicks, as I said it before, they I don't know how and why they do some of the things they do right in that front office, and they claim it's autonomous now, and then you see some of these moves. The Knox move, for example, as you just brought up, makes no sense. It makes no sense because you just took a player that's you're not using. So I don't know if there's something that happened behind behind closed doors
As
early
usual.
with him coming into the team, but I don't know. I don't know. Occasionally, you could see players struggling with the culture change. Again, Tibbs can be a tough guy, to
Yeah.
work with. So I don't know if that's the case. I don't know if it's a player
It's been
chemistry situation.
three games. I
Three
think he's
games.
only played. Yeah, I think he's played once in those 3
Yeah,
games
yeah,
for like
yeah, yeah,
5 minutes.
yeah. So I don't know what position they're gonna take going forward, but um, I don't know, man. The Knicks just I don't know. Bubble Knicks versus the Knicks we see now, man. It's like night and day,
Yeah,
right?
night, day and
Night
night.
and day. Give me Milwaukee, man. It's not even a question. Give me
Yeah,
give
it's
me
not a question.
Milwaukee, man.
Give me the Bucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's all. That's all the
Randall
cup
did
picks we
turn
have.
into Anthony Bennett. Worse than Anthony Bennett lately. Trust me.
Listen, y'all are disrespectful.
Nah, man. Randall has just showing why they traded him from LA, man. It's
I
not
don't,
even
I'm
yeah.
not sure what's going on. Something is going on with him. I don't know.
Well,
It might not be similar to like a Michael Beasley kind of thing, but something's going on with him.
I mean, here's the thing, right? You look back, you run your investigation, you look at when he started struggling, right? He had a couple tough games, and we know how New York fans can be. And once he got a taste of that sting from the fans, he just didn't handle it well. Snap
Yeah,
back at the fans. All you got to do is just, honestly, in that situation,
Play ball.
No, I'm just not going to use that term, right? I'm not going to use that term, but you just got to just play ball, as you said,
Play
right?
ball.
So, yeah, and the fans will respect you for that because they'll see your tough skin at that point, right?
Yeah.
But instead, you came out, you ran you, in other words, as Jada said, you popped shit and now you're apologizing, right? So at the end of the day, that's something that you just cannot do in New York. You might be able to get away with that in another market, but not the larger markets. I'm sorry. Fans, remember, fans will keep that pressure on your neck. And that's exactly what they're doing to Randall. So when he's out on the streets, when he's in his social media, they're not giving up. New York has like 20 million podcasts, man, with New York Knicks backgrounds, right? These fans are different. Okay, they're
Facts.
different. All right. And at the end of the day, he's gonna struggle for a long time. A long time. And unless he's able to block that out, it's no longer gonna be that player that we saw in the bubble.
Markel Fultz. Damn.
Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. Bust. You're hearing a lot of that lately. I'll
fella.
give kudos to Fultz, because when you look at really his story, and Eden Thomas, I think that was on our show, that former NBA player, alluded to in our episode, right, that he interviewed Fultz, right, on the show.
Yeah.
So on the Players Tribune website, check that out, man. It's so you could hear him break down what he's been through. It's pretty serious, man. So yeah, but yeah, Randall is in some water right now, deep waters with the Knicks.
Yeah.
And the only way to get the fans on your back is to
play
start playing ball. That's the only way out of it. Well, there's another way, but you're gonna be infamous if they trade you and you never got a chance to show your true colors, man, and ball out.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. Yeah. All right. No. So I have a feeling I'm going to restart my streak. I'm going to win most of these games. And you're going to be drinking like some... Listen, you need to take a different bottle this time around, because I have a sense...
The last time I had the Patron, though.
But you didn't drink... Did you drink it?
I drank... I didn't... Yeah, I drank...
No, it was me drinking.
I drank some.
Nah, we need a strong drink, man. And not the under the counter, because I have a feeling somebody in the back room been pouring water in that for you, man. Been watering that shit down. So here's what. We want to see a strong rum or something on that counter, next week. All right? Definitely, Shannon. If you want to join us, there's no problem, man. There's no problem. If you want to join us, definitely send us, post on the group, on the Facebook group. All right, post on the Facebook group your selections for the game tomorrow. Make sure you do it before the game start, and we'll hold you to that next Tuesday when we have our short episode. Okay, and you could drink with us. We're gonna need a picture below the actual podcast, or anywhere on the group. Just post a picture of you drinking that or a video of you drinking that, and we're good to go. All right, so make sure you post your games before they play tomorrow. So, but definitely, I have a feeling my streak is gonna restart. By the way, Shannon, I was on a what? I mean, it was so bad.
It was three. It was
so bad. We were considering changing the name of the podcast to Drink Champs, the Grenadian version. You know what I mean? This guy was having to drink so much. So, anyways, man. So I'll restart that streak and get going. By the way, that makes me the greatest NBA predictor on the Collective Bargaining Podcast ever, right? So there's not much to go.
I don't even have a comment
because you can't. It's true. It's true. What's your streak, like 1 week? So it is what it is, man. So hey, until you beat 3, I'm the GOAT, man. So good luck with that, man. Good luck.
Okay. All right. We'll see tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely. Shannon, you might have a chance if you take enough bets, man, and you get more than 3, So stay tuned, man. Record books, right? So, Yeah, definitely, man. So yeah. But we got a big guest coming in next week. Stay
Yeah.
tuned to the group.
So
This is
look out
gonna
for
be
that.
absolutely huge. I
Next
can't
week,
wait.
Thursday.
Next week, Thursday, same time. Um, we're gonna be here Tuesday for a short time to talk more about it, but we'll probably be in and out. Don't miss it. We might post some videos, random videos up on the Facebook group to just kind of talk about some things. Um, yeah, we're not gonna hold this in for a long time. So stay tuned, people. And even if you gotta skip an episode to make sure that you get some time to watch that episode next week, do it because we have a big guest coming in. All right.
Yep.
So
Yep.
stay tuned. Stay tuned. Yeah. All
All
right.
right. Thank you
So
guys for joining in. Appreciate y'all.
most def.
We just witnessed the collective bargaining podcast.
Just remember, folks, I'm the GOAT. GOAT.
Oh
three
God.
3 weeks in a row.
Can you cut out? Can you
Anyways.
cut us off live now?
Peace out.
Later, guys.
All right, man.